this is my belief. So obviously I'm still sort of new on this journey, but I'm discovering it. We're discovering it together. What I believe about evaluations is it's not that your evaluations mean you have to change anything. Sometimes your evaluations mean you just need to know how to defend your point of view. So obviously students will have their own agenda. So if you're not able to fulfill their agenda, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or you need to change anything. You just need to recognize that some students aren't open to actually learning. So if you are really committed to this and you're trying your hardest and you're doing your best and you're learning as much as you can along the way and doing what you can to be balanced within your life and career as a professor, you just need to make sure that you can defend your point of view if it should come up. And that's what I learned. So I opened my evaluations and I got some that were kind of hard to read. And I was like, got me kind of down, and I kind of, like, it definitely affected me. And even the next day, went into my classes and I could feel it, that I was feeling shy about. I was like, God, am I doing okay? Am I whatever? But as it developed, that kind of faded because I am pretty confident in my ability as a professor. But I also started to intellectualize the idea and go like, you know what? I know the viewpoint that I'm coming from is probably, just to be, I don't know what the word is, just to be confident in myself, is I think I'm doing this better than most, just to be straight. Even though I'm still learning it, even though I'm still young, I think I understand what being an art professor really means. And I'm doing it better than most. If you have a student or an environment that is doing it an outdated way, or a way that's like they won't be able to see, they won't be able to accept your viewpoint and what you're doing and what you're adding to the environment, because they only can see it from their perspective. So I just, what I took away from my evaluations is that, okay, they have that point of view. I understand why they see it that way because I was in the classroom with them, and I understand that they are limiting themselves. So I go, okay, that's fine. I'll just stand true to my point of view and what I'm trying to do. One of the things so my classes, and I'm going to reiterate this with my classes. So I'm teaching digital illustration. I am not a digital illustrator. Everybody knows I'm not a digital illustrator. My faculty know that. So one of the kind of points of potential conflict is, if you're teaching a digital illustration class, should you also be like an encyclopedia of digital illustration? Do you need to be? Is that what is important in the space? Should I know every single thing about the Adobe Creative Cloud softwares and things like that? I'm going to argue no. Because obviously I'm not going to, and I'm not. So I have a bias in this argument. But what is valuable is I know enough to get you started, but I don't know everything. And the way that I teach the class is, this is the way it's going to be in the world. You're going to have to figure it out on your own at some point. You might have a coworker that can give you a couple pointers. You might have some advisor that can give you a couple pointers, but they're not going to sit down next to you and hold your hand to figure out every single thing about everything. You need to go, oh, okay, I got enough, and then figure out the rest on your own. And that's basically how I teach my class. I give them enough to get started, and the rest is up to them to be self-motivated to figure out. But there's definitely going to be students in your life that want it to be like high school, where they're told every single thing. And that's, and so when you get confronted with just different points of view like that, and how it affects how it affects you when you get feedback on it, just realize you just need to be able to defend your point of view. and then, you know, do things that help you out. Like, I'm trying to document my journey and what I'm doing with my classes, such that if it comes up, you know, if like somebody, a boss of mine says, okay, can we talk about this class? What's going on? We had a student come up to us that said XYZ, and I'm like, well, this is my perspective on it. So just, you know, again, there's that saying I say, I think it fits well in this: deploy grace in the face of adversity. You know, it's like if there's a moment where you just have to get through, it's like take a deep breath, sit with it, think about it. And as long as you're actually trying, and as long as you're probably okay, because you're never going to please every single student. It's just period. No matter how much you want to try, if you try, I don't know, I actually do. I want every student to feel like I'm the best professor they've ever had, but some aren't going to vibe, and that's just the way it's going to be. And that, obviously, I'm still learning, and some aren't going to give you the grace to be human. They, you know, oftentimes they feel they want to be treated as humans, but they won't give you the grace to be treated as humans. And it's very interesting to think about.